Hey, this is Pastor Curry, pastor of the East Zion Fair Baptist Church, Wilmington's most exciting church, the church that love ya and anything you can do about it. Today with Coffee with Curry, we are really excited about our show. We have Duffy on with us today. Duffy's Hope. He's doing some great innovative things in the community, and I'm looking forward to making sure you get a chance to hear what is going on with Duffy's Hope. You just heard about the one thing or the other. There's something amazing that he's doing now. Why don't you call somebody real quickly? Tell them Coffee with Curry is on, and let's get after it.
Good morning, Delaware and surrounding areas. You are now tuned in to this week's Coffee with Curry. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. with new guests every week. So grab your cup of coffee and join us on Coffee with Curry.
And we're back. Well, brother, as they call you, Alan Duffy Samuels. I only know you as Duffy. We have that personal relationship, so I'm sorry that I get it confused quite often. But look, it is a joy to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, before we get started with some of the questions that I have for you, I just want to talk a little bit, or really get a little catch up on some of the family. So I just really need to know, how is Asia doing first?
She's doing great. She has 2 boys, so I have 2 grandsons.
Wow, you granddaddy.
Yeah. How about Diddy?
Okay, Pop Diddy. And how about, well, I see Destiny quite often, but how is she doing?
She's back in school, so she's doing well. So this is her senior year.
No.
Yes.
Tom, she was just a little girl around here, and now she is ready to graduate. So what is she majoring in?
Exercise science.
Okay.
So she wants to be a physical therapy.
Wow, it's something about that sports and gymnastics. I guess did it come from you? Because you used to be quite a ball player.
Yeah, she's always around helping me out. So I get hurt, she'll patch me up.
Okay, and that's going to really help with all the innovative things you're doing with Duffy Hope. So yes. She may be able to come into the business. And then last but certainly, a new addition to the family, Kennedy. How's she doing?
She's great. She just started school, so and she's into dance. That's her biggest thing, is dance. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you think she's going to be quite of a... What grade is she in? She's in the
5th grade.
Oh, okay. She's in the 5th grade. What school is she going to?
She goes to Servian Academy.
Okay, good. So she loves to dance and a lot of joy, I'm sure.
Yes, a lot of joy. Let me correct that. I'm sorry. She's in the 6th grade.
Okay, yeah, because if she saw the show, she was going to be very upset with you. You don't know what grade she's in. Yeah. And how's Kiara?
Kiara's great. Kiara's definitely great. She keeps me going every day. So.
Okay. Well, it's funny. I saw her in church last Sunday, but I didn't see her in church this Sunday. So tell her, and if you're watching here, I want to see you in church every Sunday. It was joy. She really, it seems like every time I see her, she has such a countenance about her. She's very upbeat, and I often appreciate seeing her and being around her. So if she's not looking, just let her know that we certainly mentioned her.
I will.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Duffy Hope. For those who really don't know, you are a hometown hero in my eyes, and many other people's eyes as well. You had a golden opportunity to play basketball and then play professional basketball as well. You came back home and you start doing things with Duffy Hope. Tell us a little bit about the founding of Duffy Hope.
So, basically, when I was away, I used to get these articles about what was going on back here in Delaware. And I wanted to do something. So when I would come home on my breaks, I would, try to have little meetings with the young people in the community, teach them how to play basketball, talk to them about life skills. So once I started, slowing down and looking at retirement, I got with Mother Bell, Beverly Bell, and we formed a nonprofit called, it started off as Duffy Foundation, and we started doing mentoring programs. So we started mentoring young people once a month. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it went from once a month to twice a week. Then it started going, we started picking up more and more. So then we started doing it weekly.
Okay. And at some point you start even going into schools, I think.
Yes. So So the ambassador program went for 15 straight years. And that was just the evening time program where we focus on education, life skill, decision-making, job readiness, college readiness, prevention of drugs, alcohol, gangs, financial literacy, and etiquette. We also had them do community service projects. So we had them do a lot of things. And a lot of times we were getting these kids were getting referred to us either from truancy court, schools, community centers. So we was figuring out some things what we can do to change up a little bit. So we did some school contracts where we went into schools and helped out. But our new project came last year when I was on the show earlier this year, talk about what we're doing now. We got 2 federal grants to go into schools. So now we're in 7 different schools. We have 4 high schools and 3 middle schools, and we do prevention programs and healthy relationship, abstinence. We do self-esteem, conflict resolution. So we do a lot of different things in schools now. So that's been our, last year we started with like 4 schools. So this year we have 7.
Okay, so you went from 4 to 7. You almost doubled it. Excellent. Now, do you have, is it for only males or is it for both?
It's for both. Boys, it's for young men. So our ambassador programs for boys and girls ages 13 to 17 year olds.
Oh, excellent.
And then our high school programs, our school programs, we in high schools, 9 to 12, and then we're in middle schools. It could be 5th to 8th grade.
Do you think that your skills, with the skills that you learned on the court, help you to fundamentally give the children skills to live with in life?
Yes, most definitely, because, one thing I can always say is I was always taught to be a student athlete, not an athlete student. So with all I was taught to do off the court, to maintain my attitude, my determination, and and the drive to not want to do the wrong things and do the right things, that helped motivate me to who I am right now. So I instill this into the young people. I instill into my staff to tell them, hey, we have to reach these young people that people really don't care about. They throw away. So let's reach them, tell them we care, and let's show them it's a better way.
Yeah. Now, I remember when at one point you had a staff of 2. How large have your staff gotten?
Well, we have, I want to say 7 full-time staff members, and we have 4 part-time. So
wow, your operation is bigger than ours. And no wonder you want the Duffy Hope to always get those donations and things of that nature, because you got to pay that big payroll.
Yes.
So a lot of the persons you have as your full-time people, or even your part-time people, these are professionals who help you with the mentorship, the guidance and direction.
Yes. So, we have a program director who oversees all the programs, making sure the programs are, meet with the schools, make sure the schools are holding us accountable, and they also oversee our youth prevention specialists that are in the schools. So, and then the youth prevention specialists are the ones who are facilitating to the young people, giving them the curriculum that we get trained on. And then we have administrative assistant who keeps me going, keeps me updated. Then we have, our tutors, and then we have our program coordinator that works with the ambassador program that do the mentoring program, find the community service projects.
Yeah, I didn't know you had an administrative assistant, because when I called you to actually be on the show, I talked to you directly. Why didn't you tell me to talk to your people?
Because you have a personal relationship.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't do that. I'm not Hollywood.
and now that I'm really hearing, it seems like you have a strong operation. Are you still down at the community service building?
Yes.
Okay. And you seem like you have a very, very strong program. Every year you put on that wonderful celebrity basketball game, and I enjoy it every year. I'd be hoping that you stay cool with me so I can at least just come to the game. But how do you look at this year's tournament?
Well, I say this year's game was it was great. We had a lot of star power there. This is probably the most I ever had. But attendance was a little down last year. Last year we was oversold out. This year we were 500 people short of selling out. Yes. So we actually,
I think more people showed up last year, maybe, because it looked like to me you had more this year than last year.
No, last year we had more. So yeah. So, but it was a great time. Everybody had a good, great time. They were very impressed with, Lorenz Tape did a wonderful job. He was very interactive. People were excited to see T.O. there, they were happy to see some of the, BMF celebrities. Right. So it was good. Then the young people wanted to see young Dylan,
it seems like Dylan gets the star power every year. Yeah. But, last year I really enjoyed it. I had an opportunity to see somebody and I didn't know who I was standing. I was in the back and I was standing next to the brother. And I kept saying, I know him from somewhere. The brother from Tyler Perry.
Have-nots.
Yeah, they haven't. And it's funny because I still have that picture. And it's like very seldom. I'm not really starstruck too much with people. But I always liked him on the Have and Have-nots. And to see him standing next to him, then it hit me who he was. I even had to text my wife. I said, look who I'm standing with. So you couldn't get him this year. I guess
Oh no, we gave him a break this year, so we went in a different direction. We got some other people, but next year's our 20th year anniversary, so it'll be 20 years. So I'm looking to bring at least 1 or 2 people from each year.
Okay.
So he might be back.
Have you? Well, I don't want you to bring him back for me, but I just thought that this out of all the years I've been going, that was I remember the first year my daughter went. She saw people that she only saw on TV, so she was very excited. But this is the first time I was overexcited when I stood right there, and there he was. And I couldn't remember who he was until it hit me. And I think when he said something is when I really caught on, because it was the voice. Yeah. So you said about the 20. You got about 20 years to celebrate your 20th year.
Yeah, 20th year of a celebrity basketball game. So,
okay. Yeah. And you planning on bringing other people back?
Yeah. So people from previous years, and then add some new people. So if you missed this year, you definitely don't want to miss next year, because it's going to be bigger and better. And I'm gonna tell you, we're planning now, and it's something special. 20 years.
Yeah. Now, how is it? Do you feel comfortable with the new location as opposed to the old location?
I think it makes the new location make it more intimate.
Okay.
It's smaller.
Okay.
And I think it's centralized for a lot of people to get there from. You're off 95 for the University of Delaware, but you got the train station, the bus station right down the street. So I like this location. It's more feasible for the city, city people. So, and that's who we want to basically target to. We want to make sure that no one from city's left out, so the young people can just walk there if they want to come.
Right.
So.
Right. And we've had no violence. We've had no issues. I think that needs to be shared, because every year I've gone, and now that you even moved it to the city, and we're going to keep praying that it's not. But are you aware of any violence or anything there?
No violence. No violence. Not at all. And that's a great thing. All my events I've been doing, I've never had any issues. So that's a great thing. So we're gonna keep praying about that. So let's keep. We always say, come out and show out, but show out for the right way.
Right. And you bring a lot of local talent. These young people. It's like we for our cheerleaders here, we brought in one of the groups you had a couple of years ago because we discovered them at your event. But you find this great talent. How do you find this talent?
So I can't take all the credit. It got to be, a lot of times my wife finds the talent. Yeah. So she's in charge of the games and entertainment. But one of the things we always do, right? A lot of people get mad at me because people want to, they rappers, singers, and they're adults. And so for me, I don't want to do the adults. I want to do the kids, because I'm a youth program, because a lot of times these kids are always getting a negative light shine on them. They always talk about what they do bad in the mall, what they do in school. So let's do something, let's shine a light on something positive. Let's show the young people out here, drill teams or the dance groups or the singers, things like that. So that's what it's all about. So that's one of the things I charge my team with. Let's find these kids out here that's doing some great things. Yeah, and again, you're doing a phenomenal job with that. What about the success of, you said 20, how long has Duffy Hope been around? So it'd be 21 years in November. And so that means you have grown-ups now, who are grown-ups. I'm sure there have been some disappointments, but for the most part, do you feel that there's a strong success? Duffy's Hope is making an impact on young people? Yes, as we always say, our our success rate is 85%.
Yeah.
So it's high because we put a lot of time in it.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, all our kids are grown now that started when we first started. And matter of fact, we have one sitting on our board right now. So
really?
Who went through the whole process. She was with me from the beginning. So she sits on our board now. So who better to have on your board who went through the program? So that's a good thing. So it's always good to see other young people that went through your program say, hey, you know, I went through your program. Thanks to you. I didn't listen in the beginning, but now I get it. I remember everything you said. So it's great because I use this. I went to last year. Last year? No, the year before last. I went to Atlanta to see the opening game for the Eagles and Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Falcons. And I happened to be in a restaurant and this young lady walked up and said, "You're Mr. Duffy, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "Hi, my name is Alicia. I used to play in your basketball league, then I went to your mentor program."
Wow.
And I was like, "Yes, Alicia, I remember you. You went to Concord." She said, "Yes." She said, "I remember, you know, listen, you coming, you being hard on me about my behavior and my attitude towards my parents and my teachers. And I didn't listen then, but then once you start showing up at my school, you started making sure I get the right tutors and you know, everything I needed. So from there, I just excelled. And, you know, I graduated from college. She said she went to Georgia State down in Atlanta, and she stayed down there.
Excellent. Excellent. And look at the impact. I mean, you were able to help her come out of who she felt she needed to be to become who she really needed to be, and doing very well. Well, what we're going to do, Duffy, is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back. You remember just 2 years ago, Duffy ran into a situation where he had some health issues. And as you can see today, he's doing very well. I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about that, and then we're going to jump back into Duffy because there's something exciting that he is doing, and I brought him on today so we can talk about it. We'll be right back.
Tune in at 8 a.m. every Sunday for our worship services. Join us at 9 a.m. on YouTube and Facebook Live by typing Zion Fair Baptist Church. We are Wilmington's most exciting church. Join us at 9 a.m. on Facebook Live every Sunday by typing Zion Fair Baptist Church.
Jesus felt what you're feeling, but he did not sin. Am I in the word? Have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin.
We are Wilmington's most exciting church.
We need volunteers, we need mentors, and we need sponsorship. So please think about donating to Duffy's Hope. Go on our website, duffyshopeinc.org, and donate that way. You can call us at 302-652-3532. We can take your payment over the phone. You can mail us a check at 100 West 10th Street, Suite number 9, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. Also, you can donate your time. If you don't have money, donate your time. You know, come help us with the garden. You know, help us mentor or help be a tutor, things like that. So please think about donating to Duffy's Hope.
we're back. Well, before we go into his health, we were on a commercial break, and you see what happens when you're a grandfather and you're old. You forget things, and you don't quite remember the way you need to. So Kennedy won't kill you. Could you share with them the correct grade she's in?
She's in the 7th grade.
Okay, she's in the 7th grade.
You made me nervous, so I'm blaming you.
Everybody who knows Duffy knows that nobody can make him nervous. He's a true point guard. Point guard. You are a point guard, right?
Guard, right? Yeah,
point guards got to make sure they scan that floor and do what they got to do. But that's great. I'm glad you remembered it. And matter of fact, that shows you home is on the mind. Right. So that's really good. Well, a couple of years ago, Duffy, if no one else was shaken up, it was me. I know I was when I had heard and got word. Matter of fact, you even called me, which I appreciate that. That showed me the heart and the love that we have for each other. When you ran into that crisis with your health, you didn't know what was going on, been healthy all your life. Could you just reshare with the people what occurred? And then we want to talk about how you are doing much better now.
Yeah, December 20th, 2021, I was walking in New York City shopping and for some Christmas gifts for the young people in my program, and just didn't feel right. Started losing short of breath and end up, couldn't breathe, gasping for air. At the time, it was my fiance, and she ran across the street to get an officer, and I felt like they were taking too long, so I ran across the street, almost got hit in New York City on 5th Avenue. And I always say I'm blessed because the way I lunged on the cop, good thing he didn't react, thinking I was trying to do something to him, especially with a lot of stuff that was going on, officers shooting, innocent people or, things like that. So, and he actually saved my life. I was like, he really, took time, called the ambulance, did everything he could do, To this day, I have never met the guy. I've been to New York 3 times looking for him. The first time I called, I had somebody look up some information and get his full name. I just remember his first name. And I don't know if they thought I was going to do something to him or some top secret, but I mean, I went up there with a whole bunch of gifts and tokens of appreciation. Never met the guy. So, I mean, hopefully before, my lifetime's over, I get a chance to meet this guy.
We're about to get you on CNN so that we can give the story and then maybe they could help you out with that, because that's so wonderful that you're still thinking of him.
Yeah. And so when that happened, I actually was rushed to NYU hospital, and the thing about it was, I can laugh about it now, is they rushed me in and they took me right to a surgery room. And like, I'm confused, I know they did an EKG on me while I was they said my blood pressure was up while I was in the ambulance, and they said, rush him here. But when I got to the hospital, they just took me straight to an emergency room, left my fiance out there. And these people started coming in with these things on. They started cutting stuff off, and I didn't have no name tag on or anything. And the people were saying, okay, I'm like scared, like, what's going on? And so the one lady asked me, can I say my name and date of birth? And I told her my name and date of birth. She was like, oh, this is the wrong person.
Oh my Lord.
So then they was like, whoa. So they wheeled me back outside, put me back next to my fiance at the time. And then that's when they came, and the doctor did I'm a nurse, did some signs, some more vitals, and then they took me down and registered me, and then took me, did some more tests, did some tests. And I remember the guy, once I'm waiting to get a x-ray, he comes up and says, hey, if you admit it here, which it look like you will be, you gotta take a COVID test. This is when they would go up your nostrils with the thing. Yeah, boy. I said, no, I just took one back in Delaware, but that's in Delaware. So I'm like, back then you can do it yourself, but here they stuck up my nose, both sides. I was like, oh man. But come to find out, they said I had a heart attack, and I was like, you sure? You already made a mistake. I'm an athlete. I'm in good shape. I know I haven't played in a while. I've been eating, with the COVID, was in the house and everything. And so they said, yeah. So they started showing me certain things from the x-ray and some other CAT scans and stuff like that. The MRI that, you know, I was clogged up and, you know, it could be stress and when I was eating. So I was like, wow. So they said we wanted to do emergency surgery. So they actually told me that they were keeping me, they were gonna move me up to another floor, but you know, I would be having surgery within 3 hours. And that's when I think I called you.
Yeah.
And so I was just like distraught because I'm like, I'm an athlete. I'm like, what did I do wrong? And then, you know, being there, it was just like, you know, after 2 days, you know, they got me out the bed to start walking me around. And as I walk through these different rooms, I'm walking through the hallway, I see different rooms, see like elder people. So I'm like, I'm too young for this, you know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. And so I know my last night there, this nurse comes in, you know, and you know, she's African American, and she's like your mom or your aunt. And she just went off on me. Like, if they told you to take medicine, because my primary doctor told me that, hey, I'm concerned, you know, I went in just for a physical, my blood pressure was off. I said, Doc, I just had a little minor fender bender, so I'm probably up, you know, my blood pressure probably up from that. So he said, okay, I'm gonna check it again. So November, he said, Duff, it's still up. So I said, listen, get me to the first of the year.
That's, yeah.
And I'm gonna exercise and everything like that. And then I just started getting like numbness in my hand. And so I went to the, what's it called? The medical aid unit, the urgent care. And they started saying, hey, your blood pressure up. So I was like, man, I ain't taking, because I ain't want to take no medicine.
Yeah.
And so,
especially when you're young and engaged.
So I didn't take the medicine. Then, you know, 2 weeks later, this happened. So, you know, the lady was like, well, they gave you your warning. You should have been taking it. You know, you're lucky. I mean, she said, no, you're blessed. God said he wasn't done with you. So she went into spiritual scriptures and everything. So she was going in on me. And I was just like, wow. And I still remember this to this day. Like, wow, you know, I got to listen. So I was taking 6 pills. Now I'm a day. Now I'm down to 3 pills.
Okay. Now you said the lady who went off on you was a person in the emergency room in New York.
No, she was a nurse. She was my nurse when I was in the room after I came out of surgery. She was. But it was
at New York.
In New York,
okay,
yes.
Which means God's angel was everywhere with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure those of you who are paying attention to the trajectory of the story that you hear that, you know, from the cop to the nurse to everybody, even almost had a surgery.
A wrong surgery, right? Yeah.
that wasn't really scheduled for him. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I mean, it was definitely an eye opener. You know, it made me put a lot of things in perspective, and you know, I'm just thankful to be alive. Yeah. Man, you know, they said, you know, if I didn't get to the cop ahead of in that nigga time, I probably wouldn't be here talking now. So yeah,
but the woman was correct. You would be here only because God ain't through with you yet, and that's something that we all going to always honor God for. I remember when you made the phone call to me, because normally you don't just call just to call. You know, some people call and get on your nerve, push them in the voicemail. When I saw that call come in, I immediately answered it, and as I was answering the phone and you shared with me, I couldn't believe what you were sharing. But I'm grateful to God, and I wanted you to reshare that story because all too often, us, especially African American males, we don't believe in doctors. We don't believe in taking the medicine because we're too young. You are an athlete. I mean, you are the certification of what an athlete was. And this happened. Thank God, you know, you can say your fiance was there. God gave you the right a police officer that he didn't pull out his gun and try to shoot you because he didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And then you end up being in a place where people cared for you. And we're grateful for that. And I'm also grateful that when I see you even on Sunday, I watch. Sometimes you get busy. And, you know I get on your nerves sometimes when I'm calling you like, Duff, what's up with you? You go to church anymore? Not because you miss 100 Sundays, because when you miss one Sunday, to me, that is 10 Sundays. So that's why to miss. And you are faithful here in attending church. And I think it's out of your gratitude to God for being good to you. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you got a lot to live for. You got 3 beautiful daughters, a wife, and a church family that just love you to death. So please make sure that you're taking care of you, because if you take care of you, everything else falls into place. That's how we look at it.
Absolutely.
Now, real quick before there's some, and we're going to use the last part of this segment and the first part of the next segment talking about I am grateful that you had a heart to think of a group of people who is not thought of. I mean, I know oftentimes I had, the county exec on a couple of weeks ago, and he talks about how a lot of people helped him. So don't give him all the credit. Well, you're the head. If something goes wrong, we're going to blame you.
Right.
So now that it's going right, I want to make sure people understand, for you to have prepared, did what you need to do, a home for children who age out of foster care is remarkable. It's innovative. It's trailblazing, because once they get through the system and they're no longer eligible, who cares what happens to them? Duffy does. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on what happened with that.
So, like, I get a lot of credit, but like I give credit to the right people. And the right person is my wife.
Okay.
She worked in the foster care system. She worked for DFS some years ago, and she always thought about, doing something or having some type of home for kids aged out of foster care. As you know, we walk through the city, Wilmington, or drive around, we see a lot of young homeless teenagers who's always asking for money, or can they have something to eat or some clothes. So we was like, wow, we got to do something. So we got with a grant writer, and she wrote a grant for us. We wrote it to the county, and the county funded the project, helped us with getting a property. We bid it for a property through sheriff's sale, and we got it. So just been a process that started in 2019 with bidding for the property, and then 2020 we started going after working with Barraca Homes down in Delaware, with designing the home, a prefab home, and just getting everything together. Then when COVID hit, everything just stopped.
Right.
And once everything stopped, then prices started going up on the paint, the wood. So now it's like you got to find more money. So it was just going everywhere. So it was like frustrating, because it's like, man, this is too much. I didn't ask for this, because it's a new project for me. Right. Because I'm used to dealing with the teenagers from 13 to 17. Once they get 18, they graduate and they going on to college, or starting their own entrepreneurship, or getting a job. So now, starting at 18 and older, this is a whole nother project for us. So it's something new. So it's something that we talked about and figured out, how can we make this work? So we sat down. We mapped it out, we finally got through some of the COVID, and so the building started going back through the house started going back through the warehouse and started being built again. Then next thing you know, I get a call, say, hey, we're gonna drop it off on Martin Luther King Day of 2023. I'm like, dang, y'all just was saying it was, you was too far out. So to have it, start the process and on our land on, Martin Luther King Day of January 2023 was like amazing, just watching the process, them getting escorted into the Mickledale area, and we had to cut some trees down to get it off the trailer to get it there. But before that, it was just a process. I called you about how the community didn't want it there, were fighting me for it, making threats towards me and doing stuff to the property. So that was one of the things that, and that discouraged me. But then I always say I would never let nobody run me away. Right. I'm gonna stand my ground, and either you're gonna get on board or you're gonna get ran over. But the thing is,
a lot of people don't know that about you. They see the nice, cool, calm, collective Duffy, but they don't know that you're determined.
Not determined.
And that's that point guard in you. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And so my goal is, now we got to this point where everything is finished now. We just actually got a fence put up last week. We're doing a pavement this week, and the driveway, so we can have everything ready. So we're trying to have an open house by the end of September, and then move the young ladies in by October 1st. So our goal is to have 4. So the house is for young ladies aged out of foster care.
Oh, young ladies. Okay.
Young ladies. So it'll be 4 young ladies who will have their own bedroom. They'll be aged out of foster care, and they can come in, You know, we're going to teach them life skills. If they don't have that education, we're going to help them get a GED or a high school diploma. We also want to help them get ready for, you know, like I said, job readiness. Then we got a partnership with Wilmington University. So if they do have the education, they can go to Wilmington University for free. So we're you know, and now we're working with different our companies to try to figure out employment. So how we can get them employed. So our thing is, man, it's fast, you know, fast running now. So we're just trying to get everything lined up. Well, we don't have staff yet, so we're still working on that. We're still looking for operational.
Will there be a spot in the house for a staff, or there'll be a person who come in and out? They'll
come in and out. So the staff will be there. We have an office for them, but you know, it's independent living. So the staff will be there from 8 to 8 p.m., 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And, you know, during that time, during the daytime, if they don't have a job, they'll be doing, you know, counseling, they'll be doing job seeking or some type of program inside the house.
Now, how will these persons, these young people who are, young ladies who are leaving foster care, how would they be able to fund this? Will that be something the government is going to help you all with?
So that's our goal, is get the government to help with, but plus also they get the stipends too. So it's almost like them having to pay rent, but they won't pay full rent.
Understood. And so I'm just thinking how most people can care less what happens if they get out of foster care. We spend a lot of money in foster care, keeping them someplace. You talk, it's 4, that's huge. For it to be 1 is huge, but to have 4, I think that's really huge, that you'll be able to help these young ladies get on their feet. Now, is there a date when, not a date, but a time when you know they're where they need to be so they can be out on their own totally?
So our goal is, we don't want to push them out, but our goal, the way we got it structured, they should be out within a year. They should be out in a year, and they'll be able to sustain on their own.
Because the way the program that you have in place should be able to help them move out. Okay, so you're not saying, okay, you just stay here and we're good, but we're going to help you. You're no longer in foster care. We're going to make sure we provide you with whatever school, or provide you with the resources to be able to get to the school, whether you want to go into college, whether you want to go into trade, whether you want to just start a new job and you need to get on your feet. This is what this house is really designed for.
Absolutely.
Have you have any prospective young people yet? No names, but I mean, do you have any prospective young people yet?
Oh, we have some. Yeah, we definitely have some. We work with, you know, the foster care system, and then some local agencies who are at capacity. They're looking to see if we can help them out as well.
Okay, well that's good. Now when you say would you consider Duffy Hope to be the first to do something like this, or there's others who are already doing it?
No, it's other organizations that do it, like West End.
They do that at West End?
West End, yes, they have a program called Lifelines. So they're extremely bigger. And then you have some people downstate.
But you start somewhere, and you start, and this is just going to be a model to more.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, what I would like to do is, one of the things that you said, Duffy, is that there was a lot of pushback from the community. And it's not always the community, it could be one person or two. We're not gonna say any names, but I do want to talk about that because I want people to understand those individuals who have these creative ideas to help other people who may not be as together as some others, the kind of grief that we go through to get the sources and resources to the community sometimes is very difficult. So I want to have a friendly conversation real quickly on that. We'll be right back.
Join us at 9 a.m. on YouTube every Sunday by typing Zion Fair Baptist Church.
Oh my God, help me today. Which means every storm is a school. Every trial is a teacher. Every experience is an education. And every difficulty is development.
We are Wilmington's most exciting church.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good? News all across the nation. Wilmington's latest headlines. Advocating for change in the community. With Dr. C.T. Curry, Kobe Owens, and Shanae Darby. Tune in to The Source every Sunday at 5 p.m.
And we're back. Great conversation thus far, and I'm very appreciative for what Duffy is doing in the community. And you know, as we ended the last segment, you kind of said something that struck. It wasn't on my agenda of things to talk about, but I think we should. There's a lot of services that people have a heart to give to the community, but we always find the one or two individuals who have special interests or who think they know how a thing is going to turn out. You are bringing hope to young ladies who would probably find themselves in a very desolate situation. But some of the resistance you got, you and I talked about, I mean, you called me one time to say, you know, keep me in prayer because the community is really, and sometimes we use that word community and it's not the community, it's a few individuals. We won't say any names, but what was some of the struggles or some of the supports that you may have gotten on this situation?
So, you know, we had to get a variance for the property, so we had to go to a variance, a public hearing about a variance. So you had several people from that community speak negative about us getting the variance and us being housed there. And, you know, I work with Councilman Jay Street, and, you know, he's been a great supporter of this, and he fought with me, and he said, you know, it's certain people there that don't want Section 8, don't want transitional housing, don't want group homes in this area. And some of the people don't even live in that area. They live on another side of town. So, but they still trying to control this area. So he told me to, you know, stand my ground. And he's there to support me. And so that one day I was on the public hearing, and I was, you know, gave my remarks. First the community said their piece. They let me say mine. And then some of the people that was in the audience, one particular person, Councilman Smiley. And he wasn't there for my project. He was there for another project in his district. And one of the things that he said was, hey, I have about 4 group homes, transitional homes in my district, and they some of the best, well-kept homes in the development. They look like the best homes in the development. You never know that they're group homes until you talk to the people. And he said, be careful what you ask for, because you never know if Duffy Hope's not there, it might be a sex offender or a murderer living in that house. So be careful. So I thought that was very, you know, it wasn't, he wasn't a part of the agenda to speak on my behalf, but he ended up speaking about the whole thing about just the community getting involved and supporting what we're doing and being careful what you ask for. So I appreciate him for that.
Yeah, I think that is so critical for this time. And I'm glad Street always give us good advice when they come out of fighting. You're gonna stay with it. If you believe in it, you should stand on it. But I'm glad that you did continue to stand, because one time when we were talking, it seemed like you was discouraged. Not that you was gonna give up, but you was discouraged because you couldn't believe. You could not believe that people would be this negative. But the difference is people have different interests. Your interest is to help those who cannot help themselves. Some other people's interest is, hey, let's let the well be well and let's keep welling the well with well-to-do people. But Smiley was correct. The history you have, you're not going to let your property decapitate. It's not going to become a bad property. It's going to be well kept. You have a plan. You're not going to have a person where they can just live there as if they're going to be there for the next 10 years. They got to follow the process. And you will know when a person is just milking the clock or milking the time.
Right. This, you know, it's rules and regulations. They got to sign an agreement once they come in, you know, because one of the things they complain about is going to be too much traffic. They're going to be selling drugs and out of there. They're going to be prostituting. Like they said a whole bunch of things, man, that just was very ignorant, man. And I really didn't appreciate it. And it was at the point where the sales lady from Barrica Homes is on there because they had to speak about the variance, the size. Well, she started yelling at him and started making these things. I'm like, oh, okay, I got you. You got to go back downstate. I got to live here up here with these folks. So, but she just felt like it wasn't fair. And so, I really appreciate that. But you know, the thing about it is, and this is what I said to the board, is I've been doing programming at that time for 19 years. And my name speaks for itself. I have never had any incidents. I never had anything where, you know, I have a property in Wilmington where we have a garden, and the same thing was, you know, given to me from the city, and I did what I was supposed to do with it. It's a garden, you know, it's been there for 10 years now. We give out fruits and vegetables to the community. And at first, the same thing happened. The neighbors didn't want me there. They felt like we were going to be growing marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids going to be doing that.
Well, it's legal now, so maybe you shouldn't. I'm just messing with you.
But they thought we were doing a lot of things. And now, like I told the young lady that run it, I said, I'm planning this, but I want y'all to be a part of it. So every step of the way, I'm going to include you. So I include them in everything. I made them be a part of it because this is going to be us. And if y'all use this space before as, you know, y'all used to have like barbecues there so you have more space, you can still do that. Just, you know, clean up your area, be respectful. You know, there's no alcohol here and things like that. And now, if anything happens, Duffy, the kids are throwing rocks. They're climbing the fence, getting rocks. I think you needed a sign up there. She calls me. She says, this is going on in the area. So she's more supportive than tearing down. Like I remember going in there, you know, you remember somebody Hackett?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, we met with the, you know, it was 4 young ladies on the east side and they were elders. So they were in there fussing me out, cursing at me, and I just held my ground, just took it, and I said, listen, we're going to work together. It's going to work out. And to this day, I mean, they laugh about it now, but he was like, yo, they say, we was really like that? And that's the same thing I want to do with that community out there. I want to get them involved. You know, we're all about giving back. The young ladies are going to do community service in the area, so we're going to help out. So, and when we do the ribbon cutting, I'm going to invite those folks who said, they didn't want the house there. I want them to see it. I want them to be a part, you know.
Well, they're seeing it. They're seeing it being built now.
Right. So I just want everybody to be a part of it, you know. So, and that's what it's about with me. I just want us to come together because at the end of the day, we're saving young ladies' lives. Because my thing is this: if I don't save them, who's going to save them? Then if, you know, I'm saving them, they could be going in there robbing somebody, killing somebody.
That's right.
So now we're changing their mindset.
Hey, good. That's right.
So my hands are full with this new project, you know, so I'm definitely in support. I need some support. I need, you know, some donations. You know, like
we're going to go to that in about 2 seconds. I'm going to make sure you get a chance to say. And with all the things that are going on, and I will, matter of fact, I want to make sure we do have enough time to talk about that because it is a nonprofit. It is not a situation where it is the government just gives them $10 million a year to do these things. You have a board. You have to be able to go out and find the money to continue to do the services that you do. Every year you do the basketball game, but there's so much more that you all need finances for, or ways of you got to get your finances. I know during that whole weekend you do different things, whether for the banquet and things of that nature. But let's take a moment now to make sure that we get this in this show to talk about how can a person give to Duffy Hope. We're going to put stuff on the screen, but I want to make sure they hear from you as the CEO. How can we give to Duffy Hope?
Several ways. You can go on our website, duffyshopeinc.org, and donate that way. You can call us at 302-652-3532. We can take your payment over the phone. You can mail us a check at 100 West 10th Street, Suite number 9, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. Or, you know, that's a lot of ways you can donate.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of ways.
Also, you can donate your time. If you don't have money, donate your time. You know, come help us, you know, with the garden. You know, help us mentor or help be a tutor, things like that.
Yeah. Now, do y'all have a Cash App?
Not yet. We work on a Cash App. We had one, but somebody interfered with it.
Isn't that something, man? They even did to a church too, man.
I remember. Yeah.
but so if I want to give, I can write a check, send it to Duffy's Hope. Give me that address one more time. 100
West 10th Street, Suite number 9, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801.
And if I wanted to use my credit card or my debit card, I can go on the website?
You go on the website at duffyshopeinc.org, or you can call our office at 302-652-3532. And
in order for Duffy's Hope to continue to thrive and do well and be innovative, we really need the help. Now, in our community, we tend to be more receivers than givers. It's important that we give, because if every person gives something, Duffy Hope can last for another 50, 60, 70, 100 years. It's important that we give. Stop thinking the only way you can make an impact in, whether it be Duffy's Hope or other places, is that you give this huge amount. Every dollar matters. Please, I beg you, I urge you, why don't you make sure you do a check today? I mean, there's still some old school folks out there who still write checks. I do my tithing every Sunday and I write a check. I don't know why I can do Cash App, but I do the check. Maybe it's psychological, but please, I ask you, go ahead and send that check in to Duffy's Hope. And the address is
100 West 10th Street, Suite number 9, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801.
And if by some chance you're saying, you know what, I don't want to write a check, I just want to use my debit card, website and phone number is again?
Website is duffyshopeinc.org. Phone number 302-652-3532.
I think it'll be well worth it. From the mentorship of both boys and girls, from the changing lives, making sure that that Duffy Hope is impacting their lives from its conception with Mama Bell. I call her Mama Bell. Everybody got different words for her. She's been a great giant in this community. But from the mentorship that he's really expanded his wings to now with his wife, helping him with this whole, I call it the heart issues now. You went from mentoring to now some of the crises that people find themselves in at the end of their lives with these young ladies. It's really, really, really critical that you support. I'm going to ask that you think about our brothers too. But he can't do that if he can't get this off the ground to the level that he needs to get it off the ground, because this is the first house. There's many more. Where is this house located?
It's in 6 Delmar Place. Delmar Street in Mickledale, Newcastle.
Mapledale?
Mickledale.
Oh, Mickledale. So that's up there near that Wawa, isn't it?
Yep, well, right across the street from Newcastle County Police Department.
Okay, so there is a place there, and what I'm going to do is either invite Duffy back, or we're going to make sure we do some announcements or commercials to be able to let you know when the ribbon cutting, because sometimes you have to show people. And I think that's going to be important. So as soon as you get that date of the ribbon cutting, I would like to be able to share it with the people so they can come and be a part of this. You have really done a great job. I mean, you've been working your team, and obviously you're sitting yourself around people who you can trust. You have a good board too.
Yes.
Y'all do some good retreats. I hear. I don't go no further with that, but y'all do some very good retreats too to make sure that y'all are getting the business of Duffy Hope and doing the things that you have to do. Duffy, we only have a few minutes, but I want you to take your time. Anything you want to share with our community, they know you. So anything you want to share, I want to give you the opportunity to do that.
First thing is, I just want the community to come together as a whole, especially to my young people. We got to stop killing each other.
Yeah.
We get upset when the police kill us, but it's okay for us to kill ourselves. That's not cool. So we have to, stick together. Let's all bond together and work together for the good cause. And out here is to live, enjoy life. Secondly, I just want to say, I'm not the only organization doing this. It takes a village to raise all these young people. And so find an organization that you want to support. If it's not mine, support another organization, because we all need your help. See, I'm not selfish. I'm here to try to help the community as a whole. And again, we need volunteers, we need mentors, and we need sponsorship. So please think about donating to Duffy's Hope. If it's not your money, it's your time. Thank you for allowing me to be on here today.
You are very much welcome. And what is my sister's name? It just slipped out of my head, and she's gonna kill me when she sees this show. She even recommended you to the board at Moyer.
Oh, BB Coach.
BB. Oh,
my mom, BB.
I'm sorry, BB. I can hear her talking about Pastor Chris. You need to be ashamed of yourself. And I see her everywhere. But one of the things that she often talk about is that it is not right for the police to kill, innocent black boys and girls. It is not right for black boys and girls to kill each other. Right. So I wanted, when you said that, she just came to my mind very much, and she loves you to life.
And I love her.
Yeah, she does, and she always singing your praises. But Duffy, listen, it has been a joy having you today, and we cannot let it be so long before you come back. Once you have that open house, I want to make sure we come back, and we want to probably interview some of those young ladies just to see the impact that you're doing. I've had an opportunity to talk with some of the young brothers who are in your program, and I see what's happening with their lives. But to even see how this is going to turn is going to really be something great to talk about. And at some point, we're going to have to bring your programming director on and let her talk about some of the things that's going on with Duffy. It was you, the face of the program, but I'm grateful that you're willing to share the stage with people like your wife and others who are doing a great and a remarkable job. Duffy, thank you so very much for spending the time with me today. And I appreciate you so very much. We'll be right back.
Poverty can often act as a barrier, preventing individuals, families, and communities from reaching their full potential. In communities facing persistent poverty and high unemployment rates, the Community Economic Development Program, or CED, invests in local businesses and helps create and expand job opportunities. CED grants provide long-term solutions to poverty by ensuring that 75% of all the jobs created with CED funds are filled by individuals with low incomes and that employees are connected to critical support services. All jobs created with CED funds are intended to be high-quality positions that provide living wages, paid leave, fringe benefits, and opportunities for career growth to truly help individuals achieve economic self-sufficiency. CED projects provide startup capital, loans, equity investments, and funding for construction for a variety of industries, including restaurants and commercial kitchens, manufacturing businesses, distribution centers, grocery stores, child care and home care businesses, and agricultural and environmental initiatives. Every year, CED funds are used to create and expand hundreds of local businesses and employ thousands of individuals across the country. And for every $1 of CED funding that is used on a project, more than $6 from other sources is invested back into low-income communities. To learn more about CED, visit www.acf.hhs.gov/OCS/help.
And we're back. What a great show today. I'm grateful that God has allowed Duffy to come and be a part of the show. Every time he comes, it's a great motivation to see what a hometown hero can do. He has certainly continued to keep his hand on the pulse of our community, as well as our young people. That has been his heart, that has been his dream, and he is certainly fulfilling it. And I'm grateful for that. For those of you who watched today's show, it was another piece that I want to make sure you catch very carefully. We must make sure we are reaching back, reaching down, and helping to bring up those individuals who cannot help themselves. We cannot continue to cast judgment on those who are not doing as well as we are. Listen, most of us, if not all of us, are one paycheck away from being broke. Let's help somebody else. We say here at Easy and Fair, we help those who cannot help us back. This is how you become blessed. And this is why God's angel covered Duffy during that New York trip. He was down there trying to help somebody else get gifts for children, young people. And then God gave him the angel of the police officer, the angel of the person that was in the hospital. and God continues to protect his life because he's able to give to those who cannot give back to him. That's your key to success. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I thoroughly did, and I look forward to the next one. Until the next time we get together, may the Lord God bless you real good.